What's up, guys? Cedo cards here with another video. This one is okay. So cards are finally out in the wild. As you guys know, in America, for Walmart specifically, they've decided for whatever reason to list items early in stock. Sorry, on shelves. Again, Walmart is the only vendor we've seen so far that has done this. So we are seeing only sleeve boosters on being purchased. Booster boxes, those will still just come from pre-orders that you've purchased online with local game stores and other vendors as well. But currently we are seeing just sleeve booster packs from Walmart. I've not seen any mention of booster boxes from local game stores coming early, as in they should have received their stock by now. But we've not seen any early, which is good. And I've not seen from any of the vendors I've purchased from, I've not seen any of them send out theirs early. So I'm still expecting mine on the 31st. I bought 2 cases and I have about 3 or 4 loose booster boxes. I think I'll keep 1 case just sealed. The other case I will rip a bunch, and then the loose ones, well, I'll go for the loose ones first and I'll figure out what I do with the sealed, but I just want to have enough for launch. I don't think I'll buy this much again, as I said, for future sets. Probably like 1 case max and just play around a bit. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the early spottings we've seen of the cards so far, some signatures, some non-signatures, some old arts, and the sales. We're not seeing that many, so don't expect too many in this video. But in addition to the cards that we have seen sold, there are also more sightings as well that I want to take a look at. Before we do that, again, just a quick look at the market. A bit different today, so I've looked at the booster box prices. They are still stable. That's good. So I just wanted to bring your attention to other opportunities there are in the market. Of course, as you guys know, there were 2 trial decks provided from the League of Legends TCG. That is the one from 2024 when it was known as Project K. That one is very sought after. We'll probably discuss it very briefly. I've got a small tab there for it. Then they have the additional demo packs in 2025 once they had become Riftbound, once they had changed the name from Project K to Riftbound. So just looking at the 2025, of course, because the 2025 decks are very available. They were handed out in large quantities. We're just looking at the current prices, and we're seeing about 581 for a trial deck. And what we're seeing is quite a stable price now, but this has climbed quite a bit. I mean, we're looking at October 7th is this price here. October 14th here. But if we go as far back as start of September, we're looking at 199 for a box. So 199 for the set of 4. Similar time, start of September, 249 for this set of 4. Again, sealed. This is the complete box as well. Here, I'm unsure if they gave you the white box with the 4 inside, or they've just given you the 4 separate. I do know that I think it was Gamescom, or if you have a trial deck places that they were giving the trial decks out for. I know some were given the box itself, some were given just 2. And if you were 2 people, if you were with another person, they would then give you 4 in total. So people were being given only 2. If you were a friend, you would get 4. Perhaps separate like this, and some were given just the trial decks in the sealed, as we see here. Again, we're seeing around 250 in September, and it then begins to gradually climb. This is Australian, so this is at $450 in US. This is not too long ago, a few days ago. Again, we are seeing up and down. Again, this is about 400 euros, and I recall again that's about 400 euros to USD. That's about USD. It's about $464 as well. So again, it is climbing up. We are seeing a climb, and then it is up and down. 500 again. It is still a seller's market, but we have very much sort of found ourselves in this higher price range now, in the 580, and track record shows that it is progressively climbing. I would put my money on this, and I would grab one of these and just hold it. It's a cool memorabilia. It's a cool thing to hold on to. If you want to hold on to it now, it's the best time to get it, because these will soon eventually be out of availability for lots of people. Simply because as the league players enter into this space, if you guys aren't aware, they've now started to show the actually, let me not bother searching for it, but they've started to show the Riftbound TCG in the League of Legends client. So if you open up League of Legends to play the game, they're letting you know on the client page that, hey, you know, Riftbound is here. So we will slowly start to see, you know, the league players feed into this market, into the TCG, and we know that League of Legends players have deep pockets. They will spend a lot on what they want. So I expect these prices will climb as more and more people want to get those niche memorabilia for a game they've loved for over a decade and invested a lot of hours into. So I expect this to climb very much. So I would keep your eyes up for this. Next, we're looking at the individual trial decks. Again, just if you, as I mentioned, you are getting to a point that people are being priced out. It's not easy to dish out $500 or £500, however much, on an item when people are, you know, trying to eat, trying to pay their rent, mortgage, take care of their children. So there are still opportunities in the individual decks, which again are all great to have. If you're looking at Yasuo, we were looking at roughly $63 back in August, and it's just gradually been climbing since late August. We're seeing October now, you know, £89, 89, 99, you know, 109 around in October as well. So we are seeing a steady climb as well. I would grab this if you were unsure of what to get and just wanted an easy grab. Just grab Yasuo. It's Yasuo, you can't go wrong. One of the staples in League of Legends. If you like Yasuo, then get it. If you don't like Yasuo and you just want to have some collectibles from League of Legends, just grab this. We are seeing a healthy climb, and again, if you just want to leave and you don't want it anymore, you can at least sell it for what you paid for, so you won't be stressed out in terms of losing money. Again, you know, if you look at Jinx, similar situation. You know, it started off, you're looking at $50 in early August, and then you've just seen a gradual climb. Look at $60 here, $70 here in late August, $80 in late September. You know, looking at $90 now, and then that's kind of where we are. So again, Jinx, if Jinx is your fan favorite, I'll grab it. They have great cards. We won't really go through the trial deck cards today. We'll look at that another day. Look at the rules, PSA 10s, what we're seeing. Again, great holds. I mean, I would hope to vendor one day, and if I do vendor one day, I would love to grab a bunch of these trial deck cards that I can then, you know, sell as a vendor, because these are great cards that people won't really get that much access to, especially online. Online you won't see many, but if you're walking past a vendor in person and you see a trial deck card, it's an exciting thing to see. So again, this is just one, you know, where you can't purchase the set of 4 as is. I would definitely say just grab one of the individual trial decks. You can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong with something like this. It's a great memorabilia, and yeah. Again, looking at Volibear. So again, it was Victor, Yasuo, Jinx, and Volibear as the set of 4. Looking at Volibear prices, again, we're seeing gradual climbs. $50 in September, $59 as we go further in September. Looking at $99 roughly in October. And then I saw a listing of $229 that was sold. And I thought maybe it's an anomaly. I looked at I went on 130 point sales just to see pricing, and it does, you know, it was listed as 230, but the sale price was 205. I don't think Volibear is a fan favorite. He's definitely loved, but not a fan favorite. So, you know, I see this as an anomaly. Regardless, we are still seeing that gradual climb, 50 up to 100 right now. If you look at the listings for Volibear, if we get actual listings to purchase, yeah, we're looking at 89, 90 to actually buy. So that sounds on brand. So, you know, it is climbing steadily. Again, similar situation. I would purchase this if I had the spend money to. I have a child now, I can't just throw money where I want. But we are seeing gradual price increases. Again, with Victor, the trial deck, if you go back to August, we're seeing 50 and climbing to 60. We're seeing 75 in late September, and now we're seeing around $100 as well. And again, if we're looking at if you remove the sales, again, we're seeing 89, 89, 99, 99. You know, we're seeing roughly the 100 range. And again, we are, as you've seen from August to now, we're seeing almost double the price if you had purchased it back in August. If you go through sales, there are some fluctuations up and down, but you have had opportunities to grab them at a cheap price at, you know, roughly £50, some of it less. And now we're seeing about $100, sorry, not £100, $50, and now we're seeing them at $100. We're seeing these, you know, throughout, you know, for all 4 sets. So just wanted to touch on, before we go to the new cards that we've seen out in the wild, just wanted to touch on the trial deck I discussed in the other video, the 2024 Project K trial deck in English. So of course we've been discussing the 2025. You can tell the difference because the 2025 one says Riftbound, whereas the 2024 just says League of Legends. So I decided to message this person during day deals because I was curious as to what offers he had been receiving. Notably, he had also sold these 2 items, the Yasuo Project K trial deck. As you can see, it is visually different to, you know, the Riftbound trial deck. Again, you can see it's quite aged. This is the old artwork for, well, it's the current artwork for Yasuo. Of course, they've given a touch up for Project K. Again, this sold for about $2,400. Again, we've not seen any apples in the wild. Jinx sold for $7,000. Again, same person. So I reached out to him to say, hey, what offers are you seeing? And he said that he's seeing offers of around $20,000 right now, but that he doesn't want to sell for anything less than 25. I said, fair enough. I wouldn't either. This is such a memorabilia. If you have it, I have one. Don't be stupid. I just don't, you know, it's one thing to have English trial decks, but it was, from my understanding, these English trial decks were only handed out in China, in Macau. So I know Macau is an international space in China, so hence why they were giving out both English and Chinese decks, but they were so rare that, you know, if we're talking about base 1 Charizard, base 1 Pokemon Shadowless booster box, this is the equivalent in League of Legends. So I'm interested. I'll keep tabs with him. I'll keep asking him what he's getting offers for, because I want to see where this climbs. Because this will be quite interesting. This will let me kind of read the market for all our prices we see below in terms of the spending appetite for League of Legends fans. Ultimately, I love what League of Legends and Riot Games are trying to do with this card game, but we are still looking at, you know, cardboard. Again, there is life breathed into these cardboards, but for someone to spend 25,000 on this is quite crazy. I bought it for about 1K in start of this year. I didn't expect anything to happen with that 1K. I just said, let me grab this, because if I don't grab this, I never will be able to grab this again. So I just grabbed it. I didn't expect to see, you know, $9,000 sell last month, and, you know, now people are offering $20,000. I just grabbed it because I like League of Legends, and I like what they're trying to do with this. So it's crazy, but this will give me a better understanding of the appetite from League of Legends players. And again, we're going to slowly see more and more come in from League of Legends, like the actual players of the game, into the TCG. So we have a few sightings of these cards. I'm fascinated, to be honest. The first sale we've seen for the League of Legends Lee Sin signature card is 1,200. That's on brand, to be honest, in my opinion. To be honest, I didn't expect it to be 1,200. I had estimated in the previous video around maybe 800, 900 for Lee Sin. Lee Sin is a fan favorite. This is a sick card. I wasn't expecting 1,200, but again, these are initial prices when there are literally none in the market. As you can see, there are no listings at the moment. So this is the only listing we have at the moment for this. So I would like to see, this is not going to be the floor. This is kind of, you know, just the initial price, and we'll see it drop as more and more hit the market, and then it will then climb again eventually, especially once these are out of print. These will skyrocket extremely high. Make no mistake, League players are rabid. League players can be not degenerate with their money, but I've known League of Legends players for the past 10 years. They just like to buy shiny things. So we're seeing about 1,200 for the Lee Sin signature that we've seen so far. Ari signature, we're looking at 750 was the sale on this. So, you know, it's a pretty solid sale. Pretty much, you know, around what I thought it would be. I mentioned that this should probably be an $1,000 card. I still expect it to be there, but I was off the mark. I said 800 to 1,000. So not too far off the number. Again, great card, gorgeous card. Crazy that it's already been cited in the market. Just look at this art, you know, absolute, you know, demon mode is just brilliant. So it's a great thing. Great. And another one we've seen as well, it's still in bidding, but we're looking at $770. So this might creep to about 800 plus. We've got 3 more days to go. Looking at 717 in terms of bidding. So that'll be an interesting one. Again, the quality looks pretty decent. Edges look fine. A few markers there. A few markers there. But overall, it's a pretty good card. Might get a PSA 9. You know, might get a PSA 10. Just depends on the day, how the grader is doing that day. And yeah, I was just looking at the grading bids to see if there are actual different people. So it seems to be a legit bidding sale. A few other, you know, alt arts. You know, we're seeing the Ari alt art, full art, about $85 that it was sold for. Decent price. So we're starting to see, you know, where the interest for alt arts are sitting. We see $85 here for Ari. This here is a combination of 3. So we're looking at Misfortune, looking at Cassette, and we're looking at Darius. All 3 are alt arts. And they are sold for $150, so you know we can look at $50 for each of them, and it makes sense that Ari would be a lot more. Ari is a fan favorite; she's always been a fan favorite. You know, these 3 characters are great. Darius is probably the most loved out of these, and I wish I had a clearer picture for the Darius one here, but there are many more Darius. In fact, there's another. I say full art. This isn't actually a full art. There's a Darius full art that I will show in just a moment. A Leona card, Leona alt art, sold for $25. So again, it just depends on the interest on the card. I do expect to see more Leonas around this price. Great card. She is a support character, so less blue play support. It's less hyped. So you know, $25 is pretty much on brand. Looking again at TCG player, we saw a set alt art set for about $40. So again, early days. You should expect this to probably dip down quite a bit. That is quite high for an alt art for set. He's not the most popular character. So yeah. As I mentioned, a Darius, another Darius card. This one sold for about $35. Best offer, so roughly maybe $30. Here is the alt art for Darius, the full art alt art. That's just how I'm describing them for now. You know, looking at very good card, very great design. So that's pretty solid card. Saw Volibear as well. Volibear alt art. You know, pretty menacing skin line. I can't remember the Nightbringer. I can't remember, Dawnbringer. The skin art, the skin line. Again, great card. Looking at already $35. An offer I was given, probably would see $30. I could check it, but I've already read up for a while, and there's a lot more to look at. Set, looking at his alt art on his own, we'll see $25. Again, that's the same you know, grouping as this one that's sold for $150. So it suggests that maybe the Misfortune and Darius are worth a bit more, but you know, these are early days, so you know, what can we do right now? Looking at a Victor alt art, you know, $20. Victor is very popular. It makes quite a lot of sense. This isn't the full art, and I would love to see the full art, because the full art is so sick. I've not seen it yet. I've not seen it in the wild. So sick. Yeah, I expect that to probably be similar prices to Ari. Just not because Victory isn't as popular, but it's a really well drawn card. Like, the artwork is just stunning. So I expect, you know, similar prices for that. So Kai'Sa, the champion unit, sold for $50. It's quite much. I think, again, these are just early door people trying to get in as quickly as possible. This isn't worth $50. We're gonna see so many of these flood the market. It's so easy to get these champion units, at least from the pull rates I had in for Chinese. So we shouldn't be seeing $50. Then we have Ari champion unit. Again, this is a gorgeous card. Doesn't surprise me that it's done well. This is shown as 30, but I believe I have seen it, and we should see later on a sale for a lot more than this. But this was one sale on TCG, 2 sales for 30. I may be wrong. This may be the only sale, but this was 30. Great card as well. Very gorgeous artwork. We've seen another set about $20. The full art. We've seen, and so this is where it's a bit, again, very early days. People are a bit crazy with their money. $30 for the champion, for the legend card. Legend cards, they're not the easiest to pull. Think of legend cards as, if you're looking at Pokemon, the illustration rares. It just depends on your favorite champion. Ari, $30. I could say fair enough. We see Teemo for $15. Again, the legend card as well. These aren't the hardest to pull, but it is just stroke of luck. You may have a whole booster box and get 2, or you may have a booster box and get 5, for example. So, stroke of luck. Looking at Kai'Sa's signature spell, that's sold for $20. Again, a bit excessive, but again, this just shows that there's appetite for League of Legends cards. It's a bit silly that people are paying this much for early door access, but again, it shows the appetite for these sorts of cards. I would not imagine that we are currently seeing investors pay this much, because in this moment, because of how early it is, the only people really looking out for these cards are other League of Legends players. And I don't think League of Legends players are stupid enough to start to spend stupid amounts as an investment. I see this as just collectors just trying to get the cards that they want very early. That's what it is. So I think we are seeing sort of authentic appetite for these cards. But again, as the market floods, and we will see this flooded, we may look back at this in the future, we will see this flooded. This will drop considerably to maybe like $5, maybe even less. And then moving on to the early spottings. So these are for sale. I would not worry about the prices we're seeing, because these are the prices the seller are asking for. If no one wants to pay that price, it's not going to get sold. But we are seeing the Kai'Sa, this is Chinese, I apologize. Looking at the Ari non-signature for 300 in English. Again, early days. Again, no one is going to. I don't think anyone's going to buy it for this price. I would say 150 for the non-signature version. We see a Kai'Sa alt art, full art. Again, it was quite blurry with very early days. We don't have much to go off of right now. Looking at $90 right now. I could see that selling for $90. To be honest, it's just a matter of time before that gets sold. We'll probably see this in a future video I do of it being sold. We're seeing a Victor. This isn't the Victor alt art I was talking about. I will, when the alt art pops up, it won't in this video, but when it does, I will show you. This is a cool alt art though. Someone's asked for $400. Again, it's a bit silly the price. I imagine this would be maybe $40 at some point. Darius, again, which ignore the prices. This should probably be $30 at max. But again, just good to see these cards out in the wild. Misfortune, great card. Again, I think we did see one of these sold. Jinx Demolitionist, again, great artwork. Let's just not worry about the prices. But again, we are seeing these cards out in the wild. Lee Sin alt art, Kaiser alt art. Of course, this isn't Maokai, he just looks like Maokai. But and I wonder why I've been seeing quite a few high offers for this card. I don't know if he's a good card to use in the game. Of course, I've not had cards to pull just yet, so I've not actually looked into each individual card's mechanics. But I am seeing high prices for this one card, so this is just what I'm looking out for. Again, we're seeing just a standard legend card for Jinx and a legend card for Set. So that's kind of the state of play at the moment. Early days, really, you know, we're just seeing a handful of people tinker around with these cards. You know, I've seen pictures of people absolutely taking, you know, 10, 20, 30 booster packs from the shelves. People really want to get their hands on this, but this is just a minor fraction of what we will be seeing come 31st. 6 days away. It's not far away. So, you know, we should expect a completely different market. One, we'll see many more cards, many more signatures, many more non-signature, overnumbered. Yeah, there's just a lot to look out for and a lot to look forward to as well. That's it for now. Again, we're about 25 minutes, a bit more. Let me know your thoughts. Are you interested in what you've seen so far in terms of the cards? The sealed prices, keep an eye out for those. That will continue to climb. If you can, like I mentioned, if you don't have the money for the complete sealed, and again, I don't have the money for things like this, then just go ahead and grab, you know, the solo items. You can't go wrong with the you know, the single boxes. They're great holds. They're great memorabilia in terms of League of Legends history. You can't go wrong. Alright guys, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you're interested in. We'll have many more videos coming out. So yeah, see your cards.